Good evening, everybody. My name is Romina Rizari, and I will be your MC for tonight's session. It is my privilege to introduce our speaker. She will give a brief but informative discussion on gut health for mental health. And after that, we'll have a little break with videos. And I encourage you to type in your questions as that video starts so that we can be faster and more efficient with the question and answer portion. Um, Coach Michelle is a certified wellness health coach with extensive experience in promoting health and wellness. She holds certification from the U.S. National Board for Health and Wellness Coaching and specializes in weight management, nutrition, disease prevention, and positive behavioral change. Coach Michelle is dedicated to helping clients achieve a balanced lifestyle by focusing on reducing stress, curbing unhealthy habits, and promoting long-term well-being. She takes a holistic approach to health, tailoring her programs to each client's unique needs. Throughout her career, she has worked closely with doctors, dietitians, and chefs to deliver comprehensive care. She has developed therapeutic meal plans, facilitated educational talks on nutrition and wellness like tonight, and guided clients through positive lifestyle modifications. Coach Michelle is passionate about empowering individuals to take control of their health through informed choices and consistent support. Her commitment to providing comprehensive health solutions and her collaborative approach make her a very precious, invaluable partner in guiding clients towards lasting wellness. Help me welcome Coach Michelle.
Hi, Romina. I just open some. Like I'm just letting everyone come in. Thank you
Well,
very much for that beautiful introduction. All right, so let's probably begin. So, so can anyone see? Can you see my slide, Romina? All right. Cool. Just minimize this. So again, thank you for the invitation. It's always an honor for me to present a talk to the CCG group. It's another day of learning and sharing for all of us. I'd like to begin by recalling the years between 2019 and 2021. So if some of you can already remember, this is when we had or experienced COVID-19 pandemic. And we all, I mean, actually everyone experienced a rough time, di ba? And do you remember those numerous quarantines, the endless lockdowns, and our economy was so unstable. And a lot of people also lost their jobs, especially those people who were in the entertainment industry or in the events industry. And to make matters worse, we were asked to physically and to socially distance ourselves from our family and friends, which was really a hard time for each and every one. And so this increased, of course, the cases of mental health in our country and all over the world. And now fast forward to our year 2024, although the pandemic has now gradually passed, WHO still reports that there is an increasing prevalence of mental health conditions, especially on anxiety, depression, and PTSD um, or PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, mental health is so important. No, it's very essential when it comes to overall health. Apart from our soul, our physiological, emotional, and social well-being. It helps us think, helps us feel and act. Mental health determines how we're able to handle stress, how are we able to relate to others and make healthy choices. If we look at the statistics right now on mental health, WHO concludes that in 2020, the Philippines had 3.5 million who suffered at least one kind of, wait, I'll just admit a person. So 3.6 million people suffered at least one kind of mental neurological or disorder. And in another survey, 48% of millennials. Okay, so for those people who, for the info of others, no, millennials are aged 28 to 43. No, I don't belong in that category, so I needed to write that down. And 68% of Gen Z, ages 12 to 27, claim that they were very anxious and stressed all the time. No, this report was taken in a survey, and it was related to work. And so with this statistics, it really goes to show, sabi nga ni former DOH Secretary Duque, no, mental health is really a serious matter that we cannot leave unattended. If there is, and it is nothing that we should be ashamed of when it comes to taking care of one's health. But as we talk about mental health, what are the common drivers? So ano ba yung causes of mental health? Of course, number one would be adverse child experience, or the ACE. No? Ito yung trauma that a person experiences when he or she was a child, and nadadala niya even up to his adult life. No? Another would be there's a history of abuse. Sources of stress would come from work or come from family. Perhaps also drug and alcohol abuse and social isolation. But if there is one factor that influences our mental health that comes from our own body, and this is definitely the gut or the microbiome. No? Many studies and clinical cases have shown that there is a direct correlation between the state of our mental health and our gut health. And so in tonight's discussion, it will evolve around the connection between the gut and the brain. We'll explore ano yung roles ng gut and what are the microbiomes. No? What are these, or where are these located, no? And how does this impact our mental health? Discussing the microbiome world will not be enough in 45 minutes, definitely. But we will try our best, no, to talk about general concepts and different ways on how to support our mental health, no, through nutrition and through lifestyle factors. And hopefully, after this session or talk, most of you will reflect on your own mental health and gut health, no, and act on taking care of it. So far, so good naman, no? No questions pa naman so far. Okay? So I'd like to ask naman this question to everyone. Just no need to answer in the chat box, but just ask yourselves. No? Have you ever felt or experienced having butterflies in your stomach, no, when you are nervous? No? For example, you have a presentation and you're about to probably talk to the board of directors. No? Sometimes sumasakit ang tiyan, perhaps. Would anyone feel that way? No? Or perhaps you would experience diarrhea when you're anxious. No? Probably an example of which would be like you're so anxious you don't know what the results of your board exams would be. What will be the results of your lab? No? And another would be the opposite. No, you can be constipated when you're stressed. The reason to this, no, is because this happens when the reason to this is because there is a connection between our nervous system and our digestive system. It is intertwined. How is this intertwined? No? So we look at the intrinsic nervous system, or the gut brain connection. This is what we call the second brain because it has a mind of its own. No? It resides in our gut and it has 100 millions of neurons. So it's directly connected to the brain. So this is our brain and there's this vagus nervous system in the middle. No? So the brain talks to our gut and the gut talks to our brain. It's a two-way communication. No? How we live and eat alters the composition of the gut microbe here in the digestive tract, while the gut microbes influence how we think and behave and feel. The axis transmit, here's the axis, no? The axis transmit messages to and from the gut to the nervous system via the gut microbes, the stress hormones, and the neurotransmitters. Of course, these are the serotonin, dopamine, the GABA, and melatonin, and via the vagus nerve in the middle. So any imbalance in the neurotransmitters can affect our mood, even can keep us from thinking, can even disrupt our concentration, and cause mental health and mood issues like depression or those usual mood swings that we would have. The reason to it is because 90% of our neurons, no? 90% of our neurotransmitters, specifically the serotonin, is located in the gut. So whatever is happening in our brain, in your moods, stress, emotions, impacts your gut health. And whatever happens in your gut impacts the brain function. So far, does it make sense? That's how interrelated it is. And according to the Public Medical Essential published in July 2023, no, it just states no, that the gut is an important organ with the digestive and immune regulator function, which consistently harbors the microbiome ecosystem. It can influence disease process in the gut, including the brain. Is closely connected with the central nervous system along with the gut and brain axis. The connection between the gut environment and the brain may affect the host's mood and behaviors. Disruptions in the microbiome communities will have been rather implicated in several neurological disorders. Okay, now let's talk about the digestive system. It's just to bring it to focus. No? When we talk about the gut or the digestive system, it is about the body system of breaking down food. No? When we eat food in liquids. No? Once we eat them, it's broken down by our in our gastrointestinals, and then it is absorbed. The nutrients are absorbed, and the body produces enzyme, and eventually whatever is not absorbed by our body is removed in our body. Okay, so where does the GI tract starts? So it is a north and south thing, meaning it starts from our mouth, throat, esophagus, stomach, small intestines, large intestines, rectum, and anus. So inside this area in particular, the gut, it contains millions of microbes or colonies of bacteria. The community of beneficial bacteria inside our intestines. What does it do? It helps us digest fat, protein, and carbohydrates. It produces short-chain fatty acids and vitamins, which helps us regulate our own immune function. And as we said earlier, a healthy gut will definitely bring a healthy mind, a healthy mental health. Now to illustrate further, let's look at the gut microbiome closely. So this is inside the gut intestinal walls. So normally, in normal ways, everything that we eat passes through our mouth, of course. And once it reaches down to the stomach, it goes to our small intestines. So when it goes to our small intestines, ito you can see the food particles in this illustration. It begins to enter the gut wall. And this gut wall has this tight junctions, or it is thick, no? So as the microscopic amounts of nourishment enters, and when it enters this wall, this gut wall, it begins to proceed in our blood flow, which eventually goes to our cells for energy use, the nourishment for that fuels our ATP or cells. So this gut is comprised of trillions of bacteria. And if you don't know yet, 70% to 80% of our immune system, would you believe, is located also in the gut. So that's how important the gut is. That's why we need to take care of it. And if you can see, what is the purpose of having a tight junction or a thick wall? Because this separates us from our bloodstream. No, just imagine if there are bacteria, pathogens that enter our food. Sometimes we tend to eat toxins. So what happens? No, so because of this tight conjunction, it protects us. So it's a barrier against threats in our from entering our bloodstreams. Okay, so far so good. So Clarion. Okay. The health concern lies is when this tight conjunction becomes inflamed and loosens up. So dito tayo sa right side, which, don't be surprised, majority of Filipinos fall under this one based on our experience in the clinic. Okay, so these inflamed and loosened up junctions, what happens? It will allow large molecules to enter. And when this happens, this is what we call the leaky gut or the intestinal permeability. So unfortunately, because the barrier of the gut, the wall of our GI wall, because it's leaky, may pwedeng pumasok. It will have threats. What kinds of threats? These are toxins, bacteria, pathogens that can enter to our bloodstream, which are not supposed to. It also kasama na rin dyan yung undigested food particles. When I say, and when this happens, don't worry, our immune system is quickly activated. That's how brilliant our body is. But just imagine, hindi naman all the time kailangan reactive ang immune system natin. It's not that good. And there are some foods that we eat that irritate the gut. And if we keep on eating these foods that are reactive to our gut, often enough, our immune system ends in a permanent alert, and this is when inflammation occurs. So I hope that is clear, how leaky gut occurs. Okay. So question, what contributes to leaky gut? That's the most important thing. How do we make sure that doesn't happen, or at least we heal ourselves from it? So leaky gut, first of all, contributes to a lot of sickness. It starts from inflammation, then if it worsens, then it can lead to autoimmune. But the usual things that we see in the clinic or symptoms would be skin diseases, eczema, food sensitivity. Napapansin nyo ba when you eat something, it immediately you bloat. Yon. So that's food sensitivity. Also, arthritis, psoriasis. So again, the question is, ano nagkakause ng leaky gut? So there's no really single source of cause when it comes to leaky gut, but there are several common causes, definitely. One would be chronic stress. The other one would be dysbiosis, which I will describe later what it is. Definitely poor choices of food, are we are exposed to chemicals or chemicals and other environmental toxins. Medication can also be one, and food-induced irritants like gluten. So what is gut dysbiosis? Okay, earlier we talked about having this good microbiome in your system. But did you know that there is also a bad type of bacteria that is also part of our gut? But the thing is, for, if we were to define a healthy gut, mas madami ang good bacteria over bad bacteria, definitely. And dysbiosis is the opposite. Mas madami ang bad bacteria over good bacteria. And so it is important to let we maintain a healthy ecosystem of the gut bacteria, of the bacteria in our gut rather. Because as we all know, it impacts our gut health and our brain health. So a sudden change in our microbiome can cause already inflammation and irritation in our gut lining. So far, yun na natutunan natin. And through the enteric nervous system, it feeds back to the brain signal. So that's how it is connected with each other. So if you have an irritable brain, most likely you have an irritable bowel. So that's something that we should be mindful of. No, if we want to take care of our brain health, then definitely we have to take care of our gut. I hope so far so good everyone is following what we're been discussing so far. So what are the common symptoms naman of those imbalances in our microbiome? Let's start with the mental health first. Mental health symptoms. These are, have anyone experienced brain fog, memory loss, mood swings, chronic migraines, no? Or depression, yan sa mental state, no? Also for digestion naman, those people who experience bloating or gassing, passing gas, laging constipated, or mahina ang panunaw or indigestion. The gut can also be a culprit, no, to other metabolic illnesses, so such as diabetes, blood pressure, and UTI. And then for some people that we normally see, no, for skin, sa skin naman, it comes out as a skin allergy, eczema, and cirrhosis. Those are the things that definitely has a connection with your gut health. So the question is, okay, coach, what do? We want to heal ourselves. No, that's why we're here. We attended this talk of yours. No, so okay, how do we deal and bring back the balance of our gut health? Okay, as Socrates would say, all diseases begins in the gut. So we focus our concentration on giving importance and healing the gut. But the question is how? We always go back, as Hippocrates would say, no, let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. Okay, how do we do that? Okay, so first of all, we remove foods that do harm to our gut microbiome. These are the foods that irritate our gut. What are these? The highly refined, ultra-processed foods. For example, the breakfast cereals, the pastries, the cookies, artificial sweeteners, and hydrogenated oil sa left side. Sa right side naman are the things that we need to eat more. No? So, and these are the sample foods that we did. No? I'm a chef by profession also. I used to run a food delivery food business, and these are the photos of some foods that we created. On the upper side, similar to Mediterranean diet, but I use quinoa sa ilalim. So it's also, quinoa is also a grain, but it's gluten-free and is also high in protein. But it's very filling then. See. So you'd see, nakita sa picture that there are a lot of vegetables, phytonutrients. So below that, it looks like a hamburger, but it's not. No, it's instead of using the typical animal protein, what they use here is are mushrooms, and I think it was red beans. No? So pwede naman pala to have that combination of animal and plant protein. But again, look at on this, but what did I do? No, partner ng veggie burger. It was still a composition of a lot of vegetables. And the right side, you had your sauerkraut. So this is really what your microbiome loves to eat. Vegetables, phytonutrients, and yung hilig niya, fiber-rich foods. So since we're talking about the foods that we need to replenish, no, these are the nutrient dense, no, whole foods. Obviously, alam niyo na what whole foods means. No? It's the opposite of processed foods. Kailangan something that is grown. No? Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains. No? Plant foods that are rich in polyphenols or phytonutrients because they are rich in antioxidants, nourishing our gut and at the same time combats our oxidative stress and protects our cells from damage. So again, if you were to go outside, always reference yung Mediterranean diet because it has good fats, it has protein, and it has carbohydrates in the forms of vegetables. Not necessarily naman kailangan leafy greens. You can have cooked foods, but at least it's still a marry of different kinds of vegetables, different colors, because each color, as seen in this slide, has different healing properties. So that's why we have red, green, orange, violet, and white. As much as possible, have those variety of vegetables. Eat soluble fiber foods. These are rich in fruits, vegetables, flaxseed and psyllium. So these are foods that the microbiome ferments, no, in the large intestines, and eventually the microbiome produces butyrate or short chain fatty acids that are part of our that is healing our immune system. So always remember eating soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. Okay. So who here has heard the words probiotic and prebiotic? Ano ba difference ng dalawa? Apart from spelling, of course. Okay. So let's start with the probiotics. The probiotics are the natural bacteria that we want to eat to replenish our own depleted microbiome. What are these? These can be the fermented vegetables. Like here in the slide, we have kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, hilig kumain ng kimchi, miso, and other pickled vegetables. Why do we need to eat these? Of course, apart from, since nababawasan tayo we want to increase the good bacteria, di ba sabi, over bad bacteria, probiotics decreases inflammation. And for those people who want to lose weight, yung midsection here, if you have a part that is bulging, we call the subcutaneous fat. Actually, nakikita yun, but malaking middle section dito. This represents that we have inflammation. So if you want to lose inflammation, you have to increase probiotics. And how do we do this? Eating foods that are rich in tryptophan. This is a precursor to serotonin. And what are foods that are rich in serotonin? Salmon, omega-3, nuts, seeds, eggs, and pineapple. Something that is rich in butyric. So this time, let's talk about the prebiotic. Okay. Kung ang probiotics are the good bacteria, the prebiotic are the foods of the good bacteria. Okay. What are examples of these? Cruciferous vegetables, cauliflower, asparagus, broccoli, cabbage, onions rich in inulin, leeks, radishes. Any fiber-rich food promotes the production of butyrate. Pineapple, because these strengthens and repairs the lining of our gut. Apart from that, those people who like drinking green tea or black tea, this is good because it has L-theanine, no? It enhances the production of serotonin, dopamine, and GABA. So you can take that in the morning, but not in the evening because green tea and black tea tend to have caffeine. And also take supplements, of course. No? Anything that is phytonutrient, rich in fiber, omega-3, take omega-3 is good, quercetin, and magnesium as well. So remember earlier we talked about the vagus nerve. This is the nerve that connects our gut and our brain. These signals, they both send signals to each other. Okay. But how about when the body is stressed? No. What happens? How do we protect ourselves? How do we protect our mental health as we, and sabi nga natin, protect our mental health, we protect our gut. How do we do this? So the body, when it's stressed, it reacts in two ways, no? Through the autonomic nervous system. It responds either in sympathetic or what we call the fight or flight, and or the parasympathetic, which is the rest and digest. So, for example, if you need to do a presentation, you need that burst of energy, or you need to run for a marathon. Your sympathetic is there to help you have that fight and flight system. What the body does when you are in a stressful situation. So it speeds up your heart rate, delivers more blood into your body, and in return, no, your blood vessels contract, no, because for mas mabilis ang pump ng energy ng bloodstream, no, and you also perspire. However, of course, we agree that it's not healthy. It's not all the time that the body should be always in a fight and flight mode constantly. But we heard about chronic stress, the prolonged stress that is not very healthy. If you are the type of person that is always on the go, no, you tend to not rest, and you tend to overthink, and you're not able to calm down even in the evening, and that is still chronic stress, example of a chronic person who has chronic stress, no? And if not addressed immediately, they also eventually might lead to anxiety or chronic fatigue, and some even constant irritable symptoms. And always remember, when we are always in chronic stress, we also deplete our nutrients, including vitamin B, vitamin C, and magnesium. And so when we are stressed, our cortisol hormones will also think that we are under attack. And that is why it's very hard to lose weight when we are always stressed, when we always think too much, because the body feels that it is under attack. It has to hold on to the fat, which is a way to survive, also a sympathetic way to survive. Okay, let's talk about the other side, which is the parasympathetic, or the rest and digest, which we really need to do more of. All right, so here are ways to promote the parasympathetic stress, no? The rest and digest, the opposite of the fight and flight. Baga sa yin and yang, we have to have the balance. No? The yang represents the fast. The yin represents the rest and digest, the slow motion. So examples of these are the meditation, taking a deep breath, relaxing. How are you as a person? Do you always tend to be a people pleaser? You always say yes? It's hard for you to say no? Lagi ka bang ako ng ako? Maybe it's time that you learn to establish boundaries. Are you in touch with yourself, with your feelings? And a few weeks ago, we talked about emotional eating. Is your eating coming from what's your internal cue behind it? Is it emotions, or is it just hunger? We have to be conscious about that. So examples of parasympathetic also would be acupuncture, tai chi. Who here likes to paint? No, who here loves to dance, no, or loves to sing, no, ilalabas na lang talaga ang stress to that. No? Anything that will promote calmness in your minds and rest, go ahead. No? Learning how to deal with stress is really the key. No? Whether it is any mindful activity, as long as it helps you, go ahead. Exercise. So I'm sure a lot of you do exercise, no? And napansin nyo, when you exercise, how do you feel? You feel great because it brings out the happy hormones, serotonin, endorphins as well. Because it lowers at the same, because it promotes these neurotransmitters. No? And apart from that, have you noticed it's different when you walk outside in outdoors in the park or go to the beach or any activity that excites you or do hiking. In Japan, they always love to promote forest bathing. No, it is because, according to studies, trees emit certain smell that promote good moods. No, and although we don't have our trees are different from Japan, we are very rich in nature. No? Do hikes. No? Iba yung nakikita mo yung when it's green, iba yung atmosphere mo from the usual environment that you go to. And of course, have those daily sun exposures in the morning. Ideally in the morning. Why? Because you want to have that sunlight hit your skin to increase your vitamin D. And apart from that, because in the morning, sun exposure suppresses your serotonin because you want your serotonin to be up in the evening. Or sorry, not serotonin, melatonin. It suppresses melatonin in the morning, and you want your melatonin to be high in the evening to aid you with sleep. And speaking of sleep, we all know how important sleep is, no? This is when our brain rests and removes toxins, no? So we all know that if we have enough sleep, we have more energy and we are more focused at work. And if did you notice that kung puyat kayo, what kind of how do you feel, no? Mas gutom ba kayo or mas busog, no? Tendency kasi if we lack sleep, this increases our appetite, our ghrelin hormone, and suppresses rather our leptin hormone, which is associated with fullness. No? And this is why we tend to be hungry in the evening kung kulang tayo sa tulog. And not only that, we tend to gravitate foods that are rich in sugar pa or are rich in or salty foods. So apart from that, we can also take in supplements that will help us with our sleep. No? Magnesium definitely promotes relaxation. And maybe some of you have tried essential oils, like lavender or peppermint, that also promotes calmness and induces sleep. Relationships. Our social support system indeed plays a big role in our ability to maintain our good health. We've seen during the pandemic how mental health increased when we were isolated, when we were forced to have those social distancing. And now, for those people, if you would compare for those people who have strong social support network, you would see that they have better health and lower levels of inflammation. So I suggest continue to connect with your loved ones. Be part of a community. Ideally, surround yourself with people who have positive influences and provide those meaningful relationships. So basically, yeah, that's just really that. I just wanted to give a general information about how our gut is related to our mental health and vice versa. But as before we wrap up the topic tonight, I just want to encourage everyone to take time to listen and to understand what is your body really telling you. Sometimes anxiety, mood swings, irritability are signals that is telling you that there is something to be fixed. And you know that. Ask yourself, after listening to this talk, later, ask yourself, what kind of ecosystem do I have inside my gut? Are there more good bacteria over bad bacteria? Are they thriving, these good bacteria? How am I nourishing them? Or am I doing harm on my gut bacteria? No? Remember, an unhealthy gut, when it's inflamed, means your body, or rather your brain, is also unhealthy and inflamed. And when we fix the gut, then our brain health, mood, memory, focus, and mental health will also improve. So eat right for your gut and mental health by means of eating nutrient-dense foods, phytonutrients rich in fiber, vegetables, fruits. And lastly, don't be afraid to seek help from people who when you need help, no? Reach out to people and talk to them about your situation. Seek professional help if necessary. No? Keep in mind that asking for help is not a form of weakness, but a form of strength. Now, before I end, I just want to give idea of what I do as a health coach. No? So as a health coach, I'm trained in functional medicine. It's systems biology approach of doctors when they focus on identifying and addressing the root cause of a disease. So kasi each symptom may just be one of the many contributing to a person's illness. So if we normally use the iceberg, no? What we see on top is just little to what is really beneath it. So there is more to it that meets the eye. No? And when it comes to health management, we always focus on gut health. And we've seen how tremendous changes had occurred in their well-being, their health, when we were able to help their gut improve. So before I end, no, if you want to have more information on this, you can get in touch with me, no, through my Facebook and Instagram. And also, no, we in our clinic that I work with, also, in case you want to know more of the gut testing that we have a food sensitivity test. Food sensitivity test measures your food intolerance, your IgG, your body's immune system, or how will your body react in 222 kinds of foods. Another would be the GI60. It's a tool test that analyzes your GI systems. How many pathogens, viruses, and bacteria do you have? So this is normally used to see the causes of GI symptoms. And we also have organic acid test. You can look it up outside naman, not necessarily in our clinic also, but in case you want to know more about it. The organic acid test is a comprehensive metabolic test. It evaluates your intestinal yeast, bacteria, neurotransmitters, vitamins, and oxalates that you have. So there are other tests. These are tests that really can further identify what you have in the body. And so from there, you will know what proper food and what would be the proper health management is ideal for you. So that's all. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Coach Michelle. I'm sure everybody here is digesting, to add the pun, digesting what you just taught us. I was especially interested when she started to help us gain some awareness regarding food sensitivities, because most of us actually suffer from that. And how interesting that there are many tests that can analyze these for you and help you explain it to a professional who can help. Before we answer a few questions, may we see some videos prepared by our corporate sponsor, Nutritional, our partner for this talk.
When taking care of today also means taking care of tomorrow, you want a multivitamin that's in it for the long haul. That's why there's Nutrilite Double X, our most advanced plant-powered multivitamin. Meticulously designed with your long-term nutrition and overall health in mind. Fueled by a powerhouse blend of 22 essential vitamins and minerals, and nutrients from 22 fruits, vegetables, and herbs. That's over 450 milligrams of plant nutrient power. Double X works extra hard to support your heart, brain, eyes, skin, bones, energy, immunity. When taking care of today also means taking care of tomorrow, you want a multivitamin that's in it for the long haul. That's why there's Nutrilite Double X, our most advanced plant-powered multivitamin. Meticulously designed with your long-term nutrition and overall health in mind. Fueled by a powerhouse blend of 22 essential vitamins and minerals, and nutrients from 22 fruits, vegetables, and herbs. That's over 450 milligrams of plant nutrient power. Double X works extra hard to support your heart, brain, eyes, skin, bones, energy, immunity, and cellular health. Earth's best nutrients, made from plants grown on our Nutrilite farms and partner farms. With a gotta love list, you simply gotta love. To provide antioxidant protection against free radicals caused by environmental stressors today, and for all your tomorrows to come. Nutrilite, plant, grow, thrive.
Why take omega-3s? Take a closer look. The benefits are clear. Omega-3s are good for your heart and brain. In fact, omega-3s serve every cell in your body. They're like the premium oil that keeps your body fluid and flexible. But the challenge is, it's hard to get enough omega-3s from diet alone, and your body cannot produce essential omega-3s naturally. So, you need to supplement. Nutrilite Omega formulation provides 3 times greater absorption, helping your body better utilize the omega-3 fatty acids. Our 9-step purification process ensures only the purest and cleanest oil. We use sustainably sourced wild-caught fish, certified by Friend of the Sea. Then, combine it with traceable white chia seeds grown on our Nutrilite and partner farms. Easy on your stomach with a reduced fishy aftertaste, it's a complete source of omega-3s. Nutrilite Omega with 3 times greater absorption. Nutrilite. Plant, grow, thrive.
I suppose that's all the videos. Maybe Coach Michelle, we can answer a few questions that were posted. Matet Rico asked, when is the best time to take things like kefir? Maybe the kimchi, when is the best time to take it? Should it be in the morning on an empty stomach?
Well, ideally, I think you would enjoy it with food. I guess. Kasi
That's
ako,
what I
I
thought so
cook,
too.
so mas gusto ko kinakain siya with food. I don't think so. There's a problem naman if you eat fermented food outright, unless if you take it and you feel there's a reaction to it, then that's the time you be careful about it. No? Kasi iba-iba tayong tao. No? Some people kasi again are sensitive to it. Some people are not good at are not advised to eat fermented because they have food reactions. So try to check first. If walang reaction, then I guess it's fine.
I'm even curious, how do you get children to eat fermented food? I listen with a bias for my practice.
Well, that's a good question, no? Kasi it's really a real in reality mahirap talaga. Even ako when I was asked to cook food for the family, mahirap ako magpakain sa kids, no. But what I do, I encourage them to start young, as maaga pa lang they get to understand that masarap naman ng vegetables, no. I also recommended that when it comes to planning food, involve the kids. Oh, what do you want to eat? Oh, what kind of color of vegetables you want to do or something? Or,
So
you
it's
know,
vegetables, it's not
yeah, it
kimchi.
always starts with the family. Kasi where would they see? Where would they learn unless they see it from mom and dad? Unless they see it in the family. Masarap pala kumain ng vegetables.
Mhm.
Rather than what they be, or would you rather your kids be influenced by their friends? Diba? So that there's a family.
Correct. Tara was asking where the tests are available. I suppose she missed the slide. You can access the test if you consult with Coach Michelle because her clinic offers those. Okay,
Yeah.
she listed the tests that are available in her clinic. Another question is excessive burping. Is this a sign of food sensitivity?
Yes, it can, and also it can be a sign of leaky gut as well.
Yeah, gas na.
Yeah, kasi
Bloating.
honestly, it's one of the symptoms we also look at. No, it's not normal to be burping and to be passing gas. It means your body is reacting to the food that you ate. So, number one is be alert. What did you ask yourself? Ano yung kinain ko before having this symptom? So be mindful of what you're eating, and then try to avoid it and see if that was really what contributed for you to experience those burping.
Yeah. Well, my food sensitivity is I have runny nose.
Ah,
I didn't think of it, because it wasn't uncomfortable enough, and I had a lot of allergies that were uncomfortable until I started to remove all the allergies. And I realized something as simple as that, no? Yung sinisipon while you're eating.
yeah.
Oh, that's sensitivity na pala. Anyway, just be like what Coach Michelle said, be mindful. No?
Yeah.
Study your body and patterns will come up.
Mhm.
Matet is asking again, what's better, kefir or kombucha? I think she wants to explore, fermented food.
Oh, be my guest. Try it.
Try both daw. So,
For one thing, if you're lactose, hindi ka pwede kefir. Definitely, di ba? Ayun, milk yun eh. I mean, it's both prebiotic. It's food for the gut bacteria. So, and then try it. Kasi it might, like, I personally, when I take kombucha, I burp. So, I don't like it. So, but if what's good for you may not be good for me. So, just try it out for yourself.
so you mean I'm lactose intolerant kasi kombucha is safe for lactose
Well, hindi,
intolerant?
kombucha kasi is not milk, but I also don't like, my body reacts to it as well.
Okay. So I don't think I will take fiber blend. That's my contribution to my gut.
Yes.
Wait,
Okay.
there's another question. How about those with sensitivity to gluten? Will it actually mean also celiac disease?
Yes. Celiac disease is sensitivity to gluten. So
Hmm.
they are, again, you can visit my Facebook page, no, wholesome living with Coach Shelly, or in my Instagram, Coach_Shelly. And I'll get in touch with you if you want to know more about it, information, and if you want to check it out in our clinic.
Another question. How about burping, gas, and also are they symptoms of GERD? Iba naman ang sinro.
Iba ang bird.
Right.
But it is,
This audience is wonderful.
your questions are wonderful, true to life. Gassing, burping is a gastro symptom, no? That is related to food sensitivity and even leaky gut. Then, based on my experience, has to do with eating then and stress. Sometimes yun ang cause, not the food also, but how we live our lives. No? Baka late natutulog, laging on the go, overthinking. Yan. Pwede rin ganun. So,
Sometimes you
your
don't
life.
have enough acidity to keep what you ate in the stomach. So it goes
Yes.
up.
Yes. Food
Okay.
then.
But a proper assessment and guidance from a professional will help you understand what's causing
Yes.
or triggering your symptoms. I have another one, a follow-up question. I think somebody's coming out, no? They have sensitivity to gluten and was told to have a leaky gut, which is related then. Is it enough to just skip the flour? I think it might be more, Coach Michelle. You need more interventions than that.
It, ako I'd rather, if she depends kasi like apart from skipping gluten, there are other foods that you also need to, it's not only removing but also replenishing. So always look at your food, phytonutrient, whole foods, supplements, lifestyle, everything. Hindi lang one time lang, but every
Wow. Look
overall.
at the light. Look at the light. Look at the light. You should
I'm
come
sorry,
here.
I cannot mute the person.
Ang daming parol doon. Dapat pa na nag-stop tayo doon.
Another thing, another term is thrown at us. We're really receiving a lot now, huh? Is a keto diet good for the gut?
Okay. A lot of people ask that question to me. No, it serves different purposes. Okay, ketogenic diet is really to lose weight, no, and promote that. And in order for that to happen, you have to increase your fat and lessen your carbs, no, para your body gets used to using fat as a form of fuel, no. When it comes to gut naman, iba ang kailangan niya. It needs more vegetables. So the more colorful it is, the better. And the good thing about foods, or what we call elimination diet, no, it's a food that or meal plan that we help, that we encourage people to go use it, no, when they have food sensitivity or gut problems. They don't count calories. So it's really different. So I would ask whoever through that question, ask yourself, what do you want to do first? You want to lose weight? Try keto. Or you feel sometimes kasi, and this is our experience in functional medicine, Miss Romina. Sometimes it's not your fault that you're not losing weight. There's something wrong with your body system. Yung pala, you have inflammation. Yung pala, you have to fix your hormones. Yung pala, so it's the body has different systems that are interrelated with each other. So maybe
sometimes if you put a label like, oh, I'm keto camp, parang you're limiting your openness to all avenues that might be available. But I suppose every camp naman believes in one thing. We all want real food. We all have to start with food as close to its original form with less processing, something that even grandmothers recognize. Our grandmothers, and I'm in my 50s.
yes.
So that's all. Yeah. Okay. That's the last question we have. It's already past 9. I apologize to those who might want to have time to chat. No, we won't have any more breakout rooms, but we're still very grateful to have you in the audience interacting with us. We learned from you as much as we also learned from Coach Michelle. We hope you join us in our next session with CCG Optimal Health. This has been Romina. Thank you and good evening. God bless.
Okay, bye.